I suffer from depression. I have done my whole life. I've been suicidal on and off for the last sort of 10 years, and it's something that I sort of deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I'm on antidepressives, but on the box it says they don't work if you drink, so I'm not on antidepressives. But whenever I get depressed or down, I always feel like a selfish asshole for doing it, because it's really a childish act to be depressed. Do you realise that we here in the first world countries, Canada, America, Australia, Britain, not Scotland, but Wales. Now, you know these major countries, they're all the good ones. Do you know we have a higher rate of suicide than the people of Africa? Let's just think about that for a second, right? The people in Africa, 1 in 4 of them are dying from AIDS. They're sitting in a grass fucking hut in their own shit. They walk 5 miles to get water with a fucking jug on their head, yet they're happier than you. You're sitting at home with a fucking pantry full of food, watching fucking X Factor or 7. And do you want to know why you're not happy? Because we were brought up on dreams. And even when I said that, you're all silent, because all of you are going, you better not fuck with my dreams. You think dreams are wonderful, don't you? You think dreams are the great thing on earth. You got to have dreams. You know what happens with dreams? If they don't happen, you fucking... You know what dreams are like in Africa? Don't die today, don't die today, don't die today. That's a real fucking dream. And I'm as guilty as you, man. When I was a young comic, all I wanted to do was get on stage for 5 minutes and make people laugh. And then I thought, fuck that, man. They better pay me. And then they started paying me. And I went, I'm better than these cunts. I better be a headline act. Became a headline act. Then I went and did the Edinburgh Festival, did fucking that. And then I went, all right, I better go over to America. I went over to America. I recorded my own DVD in America, and then I was like, yeah, that's too fucking right. Now I want to be a movie star. And you know what? I'm not a movie star, and I want to kill myself. That's retarded. I have gone further than a man of my looks or intellect should ever fucking go. And at this fucking moment, I'm in a sold-out theatre in fucking London, in the West End. This would be a dream of mine as a child. And you know what I'm going to do tonight? Cry myself to sleep. Because I was taught to dream. Because you never complete your dreams. You do complete them, but then what you do, you put another one on. And then another one on. And then when you die, you'll be on the deathbed going, my dream is to see my grandkids again. Then they don't come, then you die fucking miserable. You're never going to complete all of them. No one's ever gone, oh, I got no more dreams left, I'm fucking done. So I'm not going to dream anymore. Fuck that. I'm going to make little tiny achievable dreams that I can achieve. Like, for instance, I was drunk last night. So my dream for this evening is not to shit myself on stage. Now it might happen. It might not, because I'm a dreamer. But it's not our fault. This is bred into us. This is in our psyche. You can't fix things that have been said to you as a child. Like when we were at school, we had school teachers stand in front of every single one of us and go, if you work hard and you put your mind to it, you can achieve anything. You know what that was? That was a fucking lie. You can't achieve anything. Nobody can. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Everybody in the world has limitations. No matter how hard I think about it, no matter how hard I practice, never be in the NBA because I'm a fat white guy, not a tall black guy. Like, do you remember that fat fucking dumb ugly kid who couldn't fucking catch a ball? You know those kids that are like if he was like 1 IQ smaller, he'd get benefits, but he's just on the border of retardation, right? That kid was told he could achieve anything. Right? You know what they should have done with that kid? They could have gone, oi, Kevin, you fat prick. Dig a fucking hole, you dumb cunt. All right, you fucked that up as well, but no one else wants to do it, so you got the gig, big boy. And while I'm at it, if you're a dumb, ugly cunt, and your wife or your husband's a dumb, ugly cunt, guess what your fucking kids are? Your kids are dumb, ugly cunts just like fucking you. Except they're fucking super concentrate dumb, ugly cunts. Because they come from both of you into a bottleneck of fucking retardation. But you still think they're the greatest things on it. You go to their soccer games. Kick the ball, John. You're doing a good job. He's getting better. You should fucking lock that thing up. But it doesn't matter if you're an idiot and you're stupid and you can't... Leave! So, me and Andrew went back down to the bar and we hanged out with the hookers. There's like 10 of them sort of mulling around, you know. We're standing there. We don't know what Dan's up to, but we're standing around the bar with all the hookers. And then 5 guys from London walk into the bar who are obviously out of their fucking skulls on coke. Now, if you've never taken a lot of coke, then if anyone's gotten it, now, if you've never taken coke, you know, when like 5 or 6 guys get together and take coke on like a Tuesday, there comes a point at about 6 in the morning when we go, well, you better call up some chicks, maybe, and you call up ex-girlfriends, like bring some friends. And it's like, I don't know what you're expecting. So basically, I think it was a Wednesday we did this, and I think these guys have been on coke all night, and they've obviously gone, oh, okay, let's go down to the brothel. We'll go down to the brothel. It'll be fun. We'll go down to the brothel. And I'm standing at the bar chatting with all the hookers, and these 5 guys from London walk in, and one of them recognises me and goes, Jim fucking Jefferies. Jim fucking Jefferies. I know you, mate. I know you, the comedian, the Spaz Approved guy, the comedian. And I went, hey, how you doing, man? He goes, hey, Jim. You want a lot of coke? And I went, yes. And I went up to the toilet and did a line of coke. And I come back out, and obviously I've left Andrew alone for too long. And he was sort of panicking all by himself. And I sort of walk in like, what's wrong? And he goes, what if we've done the wrong thing here? What if he's in there dying right now? What if he stopped fucking breathing? Or what the fuck, his heart stopped? What the fuck are we meant to do? I said, not a problem. I'll resuscitate him. And he said, do you know how to do that? I said, no, I don't, but how hard can it be? Push, blow, blow. I haven't embellished that in the slightest. That's the exact thing I said to him. Push, blow, blow. Then the prostitute walks back in the room, who was with Dan. So I'm standing with the 5 coke fiends, 10 prostitutes. She walks in the room. It's like that moment in a movie where the needle on the record just sort of goes, eh, and everything stopped. And she walked in and she said, well, it's over. And me and Andrew in unison went, is he dead? And her exact words were, oh, I didn't check that. So, me, Andrew, the 5 coke fiends, the 10 hookers, we all run to the room. Now he's not dead. His chair's back in the upright position. His cock is still sitting up majestically, covered in jizz and spit. But for a man who an hour ago couldn't lift his eyelids, he was sitting there like this. Now, you might be wondering why his eyelids were up like that. Let me explain something. It wasn't through happiness. Tell you something about myself. I'm 33 years old. I've been masturbating since I was 10 years old. And in that time, I have not missed a day. Every single day I masturbate. Haven't missed a fucking day. Every day I'm in a hotel room with a laptop way high up on my... And then we leave, and as we proceed to leave, I pat Andrew in the back, and I said, Andrew, you've been a good brother today. He said, thanks, mate. And then we had a hug. And then we had that moment after a hug that Australian men have where we go, oh, get out of it, what's wrong with you? And then I said, hey, Andrew, how does Dan get his clothes off? And Andrew went, fuck! And we went back in. Andrew looks him up and down, and he turns to me and goes, look, he's very fragile. I know how he likes to be picked up. I'll lift him up, you take his pants off. Andrew gets behind, lifts him up by his armpits like I couldn't have figured out their magical hold. I'm on my knees taking Dan's tracksuit pants off. He always wore tracksuit pants, never got into fashion. And as I'm taking his tracksuit pants off, what many of you are wondering is, can Dan get an erection? And the answer is yes. Even though none of the muscles in his body work, the cock is not a muscle, the cock is a bit of skin that fills with blood. If he gets aroused up here, blood will rush to there. Now, what nobody knew about this 32-year-old virgin is that Dan's packing heat. I'm talking 9.5 inches of disabled misery. This cock's so fucking big, I think that's why the rest of his muscles didn't work. I take the pants off, this thing springs up and hits me in the mouth. Then the hooker goes, let's do the light. Let's explain the light. When they legalised prostitution in Australia, they didn't legalise it in all forms. For instance, you cannot get a street-walking hooker, you cannot get a prostitute to your hotel room. You can only go to a brothel in a safe environment where they have security for the girls in case a man shows up being drunk and dickhead or whatever. And also, it's safer for the people who go to brothels because the girls get tested for STDs every month. So, arguably, you're better off in Australia fucking a prostitute than picking up a girl in a bar. But I'm not going to have that conversation again. Oh my... You try explaining that to a girlfriend, it's a fucking minefield. But also they make it safer for the girls. If you're a guy who goes to a prostitute, you have to undergo the light. Let's explain the light. It's very simple. Sounds like what it is. You put your cock under a very bright light and they look around the shaft to see if there's anything untoward. Then they get a magnifying glass out, go through your pubes to make sure nothing's running around. It's not a big deal. I've been rejected heaps of times. Now the chair's here, there's a bed here, there's a hot tub there, the light's over there. Now we try to get the chair past the bed and the hot tub, but we can't get it through. So me and Andrew walk over the hooker and we're whispering because we don't want Dan to hear, and we're like, we can't do the light thing. And she goes, if you don't do the light, I'm not doing it. And me and Andrew went, come on. He's a virgin, what's the worst that can happen? And she whispered, actually, I'm more concerned about its cleanliness. And then his brother Andrew said loudly and proudly, I washed it before we came out. Now you may think you're a good brother, good sister, good mother, good daughter, whatever the fuck you think you are in this world. But you're nothing until you've washed your disabled brother's cock to take him to a prostitute. That is love, ladies and gentlemen. Tangible fucking love. So we looked at Dan. Everyone agreed it was time to go. We looked at Dan. Me and Andrew looked at him and went, "We're going now, mate. If you've got anything you want to say to us, say it now, because we're going to leave, mate." And this is what Dan did. I'm watching porn here, and 9 times out of 10 I hit the Apple sign, right? And I do this every single fucking day. Yet I would be mortified if any one of you was to ever see me doing this. I would want to fucking kill myself. And I do this every single fucking day. Now imagine if you've never ejaculated through the power of yourself. You've never had another person do it. You're 32 years old, and for the first time you've shot a lot of fucking stale jizz all over the fucking room. And you're sitting there with your cock out, and 15 strangers walks in, and you do not possess the power to put your cock away. Can you see how that might be a bit unhinging? So we had to get him dressed quickly. But there's cum everywhere. And this time I look him up and down. And I turned to Andrew and said, "Andrew, I don't give a fuck how fragile he is. I'm taking the top half this time." And we lifted him up. And we put his pants on. And we proceeded to leave the brothel. Now, as we left the brothel, I turned to Dan. I said, "Dan, I paid for a story. Please tell me what happened." And he said, "Well, she danced around a bit, rubbed her tits in my face, and sucked me off." Which is what I asked her to do. It's so nice to be a disabled sex puppeteer. But even nicer than that, I used to have a preconceived notion on what I thought about people such as prostitutes, man, but I was wrong. That woman treated him with dignity and respect and made him feel like a sexual being for the only time in his life. You can't put a price on that, all right? Well, 180 is the exact figure.